Hello guys, it's Josh again. Today we'll be learning how to use Firebase web hosting to host our site for free. Yes, as you can see, it's free. Yeah, you can just try it out for free. So we'll learn how to host a site from scratch. I hosted the site myself, my portfolio site using Firebase. This is it. You can check it out and see for yourself. Yep. So without wasting much time, let's just get started. So what we'll be doing is that we'll be using Firebase web hosting. So we'll do is we'll create a Firebase account. I will just start everything from scratch so you can follow along. Alright, so let's just get started. Okay, alright, as I said, we would have to get a Firebase account. So with getting a Firebase account, you need to have your own Google account in order for you to access or have the privileges of Firebase. Now, when we say Firebase, what's Firebase? Firebase is a cloud platform. Basically, let me say, can as a service platform. Yes, let me say that it's a backend as a service platform. So with that, you can be able to host your site and work on your projects right from your PC directly onto the cloud. And every changes you make will be possible and then will be live. That's basically what Firebase does. And it has services. And then these are their platforms. Getting started with Android, these are their platforms. That's the platforms Firebase has for web, for iOS, C++, and Unity for game development and stuff. Now these Firebase has products, and these are their products. You have build your app for cloud. All these are your products, but we won't be using any of these. We won't be using any of these for now. What we'll be using today is just their hosting services. That's what we'll be using today. So without wasting much time, let's just create our Firebase account. Let me see that. So with that, let me open an incognito tab. Right, I think this is it. Alright, so we'll have to sign in. I have a Google account already, and I have an account already. So what I'll have to do is that I'll just sign in with the Google account. Right, so let me see. Okay, I think this is it. And my password. Voila. Alright, so with Firebase, it has two phases, or it has two steps you can use to get to the same results. And the first one is using npm. That's npm is a node package manager. That's a JavaScript something. But we being beginners, I'll just walk you through a simple way. And then the other way is using the Firebase SDK. That's the software development kit. But what I'll be treating to you with you today is we'll learn how to use Node.js. That's Node, which is the node package manager, to install Firebase and then get started, and then we'll be able to host our site with just some simple commands. Alright, so now I've logged into our Firebase account. There's my Firebase account, and then I have projects. Let me visit console. Alright, so now I'm in Firebase. There's the site I hosted. Yep. So you can, let me just go there and then you see how it looks like. Yep. Alright, so this is the work I've done so far. So when you save, you deploy, it keeps track of what you are doing. Yep. This is the URL. So if I click on the URL like this, it opens my site, as you can see now, and it's fast. Yes, so just close this and let me go back to the main page, right? Great. So now this is the main page. What we'll do first is that let's create the project first. After that, we install Node.js. Great. So add a project, and now mind you, the project name you use will automatically be your domain, your domain name. So since okay, let me just use okay, YouTube or no, let me use this codeflex, yep, name of my company, codeflix.ai. okay, you can contain only letters. All right, let me just use codeflex, right? And now as you can see, it has some unique number, which is the project ID. So what if you want to customize and make a simple domain name like what I used, the domain name I used to host my site was Josh, but it has numbers, so I didn't want a number, I used I, and as you can see, it says project ID is taken or unavailable. So what we'll do is, I said codeflex, right? So codeflex, I can make code dash flex, interesting, not available, or code flex dash me, right? Great. So code flex dash me, and it has taken it. So save. Now let's just continue. The title of my project name is codeflex. Now the second step says Google Analytics for your Firebase project. Yes, Google also does that for you free. So Google Analytics is a free and unlimited analytics solution that enables targeting, reporting, and more in Firebase. Crashlytics, cloud messaging, in-app messaging, remote config, A/B testing, predictions, and all this blah blah. Let's just click continue and make sure you have this enabled. Google Analytics enabled for this project. Yes, you have to enable it. Continue. Now what you have to do is you select an account. As you can see, you can create a new account, or you can use default account for Firebase automatically. When you're a first user, this is what you have to, this is automatically what you use. So let's just use this. Now create project. Great. So it says the new project is ready, so continue. Alright, so now we've created our project, right? Codeflex. The name of our project is Codeflex, and now the service we want to use on Firebase is what? Hosting. We want to host our Firebase web site. We want to host our Firebase. We want to host our website, and the service we use on Firebase is hosting. So what we'll have to do is just click on hosting. So we click on hosting and then we get started. So as you can see, it will tell you that install Firebase CLI. CLI means command line interface, and it says to host your site, your Firebase hosting, you need CLI command line interface or command line to run blah blah blah, and it will tell you that you can use Node.js to install this, or also show the steps to add a Firebase JavaScript SDK for your web application. Yes, you can use this or you can use this. So what we'll be using today is Node.js. So without wasting much time, let's just open a new tab, and so Node, or you can say as you can see Node.js download or Node.js, either of them. So you click on it, and then you search for what you want to use. You search for your operating system. So I'm on Windows, as you can see, or if you're on Mac OS, you can use Mac OS or any other thing you're using. So then, mind you, you have to install the LTS, that's long lasting service. Yeah, recommended for most users. That's what you have to install. So you just click on this, and then you are good to go. Alright, so let's get back to this. So if you install Node.js and then you have Node.js, now what you have to do is you open your command prompt. If you're on Windows, you open command prompt, and then with a simple command, we want to test or check the version of our node. So node, then dash v, hit enter. Boom, it says we are using version 12.18.18.2. Yeah, that's the version of my node. So maybe a newer version, sorry. Yep. Alright, so this is it now. So without wasting much time, and what we'll be using is Visual Studio Code. So sorry, in case if you don't have Visual Studio Code, you go to search for Visual Studio Code, hit enter. Visual Studio Code, yes. Then you download Visual Studio Code. After downloading Visual Studio Code, that's when you can get started with the magic. Alright, so let me open the project. Or okay, I'm working on a project and I don't want to close that. No, I think there's it. So let me just close it and start again from. So this is the folder that I'll be using. That's challenge 2. It's a simple website. Let's just check it out and see how it is. So this is just a simple, this is the website, just a simple website, and we'll be hosting this site today. Great. So good. Let me open just right click, then open with code. In case you don't have this, you can use CMD. Click on the top, then you type CMD. Open CMD automatically for you in the same with the directory. So with this, we open Visual Studio Code by typing code space dot, then you hit enter. So it will automatically open Visual Studio Code for you. Alright, so now you're in Visual Studio Code, and then as I said, now we have Node installed. Great. So let's open our terminal in Visual Studio Code. Select terminal, and now as you can see, we're in the same directory now. So what we have to do is, you can install from your extensions. You install Node, type Node, then you search for Node extension pack. I think Node Essentials. Okay, I haven't even installed it. Node extension pack, you just install it, or either ways you can just leave it like that. It will still work. You can ignore not installing the extension, and let's just get straight to it. So now the let's move to our site again, and it says what, npm install g firebase tools. So that's what you need to, that's the command you need to use to install it. So let's just copy it. You copy, and then we paste. Great. Now the G here means global, so meaning it should be global, meaning it should be in a folder where every program or whatever command you issue can access it. It shouldn't be in the same directory, right? Yes. So let's just install Firebase. Now I have installed Firebase already, so it won't keep that long, I think. And also, if you want to update your Firebase tools, there's the same command you need to use to update it. Yes. Great. So we've installed Firebase, right? After installing Firebase, it says, well, we should what, next step. So next step, and the next step, first of all, you have to log into your account first using the Firebase login. So we have to log into our account. So Firebase login, right, and we log in. Great. So as you can see, it says I'm already logged in as Yakubu Watson 365. Good. After that, what we'll do is that we initialize Firebase. So Firebase init. Great. So Firebase has initialized. So as you can see, you can see a change over here. We have a log file, Firebase debug log file. Let's open it and see what it entails. So the Firebase log file contains the history of whatever you'll be doing, the number of deployments you'll be making, the number of changes you will make. That's what the log file contains. It contains everything, every info of what you'll be doing. Okay, so let's close it. After initializing, it has a question. It says, are you ready to proceed? All we'll do is just type Y, yes. Y. Good. So we are saying yes. And now it says which Firebase CLI features do you want to set up for this project, for this folder or this project? Press space to select blah blah blah. So what we'll use the arrow keys to move up and down. Then what we want is what, the Firebase config. We'll use what, the hosting. So the hosting is you configure and you deploy Firebase hosting sites. So we use spacebar to select. So we select it by using spacebar, then we hit enter. Now it says please select an option, use the arrow keys. So it says use an existing project to create a new project, or add Firebase to an existing Google Cloud platform. So what we'll use this, we have created a project already, but there is nothing, the project is what, empty. So what we'll select is what, use an existing Firebase project. So it says what we should select. So as you can see, I have only 2 projects left, which is the first one is my old site I hosted, and then this is the new one. What we created, we just created codeflix-me. So we just hit enter, codeflix-me, and now it says your public directory is the folder relative to your project directory that will contain hosting assets to be uploaded with Firebase deploy. So it says, what do you want to use your public directory? So you name it. If it's Kojo, Ama, Kwame you want to use, you just type Kwame, then it generates the directory for you. But how we use this, we just use public as our folder. So we hit enter, and then it's saying that configure as a single page app, rewrite all URLs to index, index.html. So what this does is that if, let's say, you have a site and you have multiple pages, what it will do is that it will link all the pages and make them as a single page app, meaning one page, which is not advisable. So as you can see, the N here is capital, so you choose no. And also it says set up automatic builds and deploy with GitHub, no. Great. So what it has done is that first it will give you a public, which is 404 HTML. So what the 404 does is that a 404, it's a code which tells the user that it's a code which simply means, so when you open a site and then you are like, you see page not found, meaning it's from you the user. So it's an end user code error. Yes, 404 is an end user code error, and then 500 is a server side code error. So when you see something like 502, 500 or 5 and above, so meaning what HTTP request you are making, when it doesn't come, it's from the server side, but 404 is from you the end user. That's the front end, meaning from your browser, basically from your browser. Yep. So it has written this, what it has written now. So as you can see, there's Firebase JSON. Yep. And then Firebase source. Yes, Firebase source. Alright, so as you can see, it says Firebase initialization complete. So first, what you have to do is that, as you can see, this is the folder. The public folder is what it will be. That's the directory Firebase will be using, or that's the directory you selected, or that's the directory you created. So what we'll do is that we'll move everything into the public folder now. We'll just drag and drop, move, just drag CSS and then drop, move. Note, it's only your files that you move into it. The source, the git ignore, and then the Firebase JSON won't go into your project. No, your project directory, your assets. Move. And now it says and then note this, it will be using what index.html. So that's that's what Firebase will be using as your home page, right? So when you have something like index2, you get problems. You host the site and then you access it, it will tell you page not found. And then when the I is capital, make sure your index file should be something like this, just this. Great. Alright, so this is the public folder now. Now let me rename this, right? So there's our HTML. Rename, make it index. It's not happening because we have an index file already in it. Now note this. This is the index file Firebase. This is the index file Firebase OB. given to you. That's a dummy site. You can have a look at it. Let me let me close this. Wait. No, let me use this live server to just preview it. Nice. So this is the index file of Firebase that Firebase will generate for you. It will generate a 404 page and then an index. So let me just preview the 404 so that you see what I mean. Preview. Alright, so as you can see, 404 page not found. So meaning when there's something wrong with your files or there's something wrong with the project and then it's the HTTP request can't find your page, your index page, this is what will happen. This is what will appear. It will tell you page not found. Alright. Okay, so let me close this and let me just change this now. So what we'll do is we don't need the index file Firebase created for you, so we'll just delete it. Yes, move to recycle bin. And now let's rename our original index file. Let's rename it and make it index. Nice. So now we have our 404, have our CSS and our image and our index file in our project. Right. So without wasting much time, let's move on. Great. So after initializing your project, the next step is you deploy. But wait, let's just save it and see. Let's just preview and see how it will be like when it has been hosted. So we use Firebase. Sometimes you may make some mistakes and then after hosting you'll be like, oh no, I shouldn't have done this, I should have done this rather. So Firebase serve. Now let's see what Firebase has for us. Great. So now let's open control, hold control, then click on it. Great. So now this is our site. As you can see, our site, if we host our site, this is how it will look like. Alright, so let's just host our site and get it over and just get it over with. Alright, so okay, so with this we are stuck. Oh damn. So what we'll have to do is we'll just close the terminal. Let me launch it again. See, wait, we'll just close the terminal and then come back again. Alright, since it has the log files already, so we wouldn't have to init again, Firebase init and then Firebase serve again. So what we'll have to do now again is so the title is since coding first. My first Firebase website. Wait, let's see. Or let me just leave it as it is, and we'll come back to that document. So what's left now? Firebase deploy. Let's just go to the site. As you can see, Firebase login. We've logged in Firebase in it. We've used Firebase in it. Next step says Firebase deploy, but it didn't give us Firebase serve. If you want to know more about Firebase hosting, you just go to their docs and then you read. Right. Alright, so let's just host our site now. Oh no. Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3. Deploy. Oh yeah. Sharp. Now it's deploying. It's deploying to codeflix-me. And now we have what? 4 files. As you can see, 4 files found. So files not public. Yeah. So as you can see, deploy what? Completed, or deploy complete. And it's saying hosting URL is this. So we just click on it, and then we copy URL. Copy, and then let's just open. Let me open Firefox. Alright, so paste. Voila, our site has been published and hosted. Voila, this is it now. This is our site now. As you can see, codeflix-me.web.app. Simple as that. So now if you want to make changes, you can make changes by, so now it has been deployed. We have no beef with that again. Alright, so continue to console. As you can see now, this is it now. And you can add a custom domain. If you have a custom domain, you just go to add custom domain, then you type in the domain name. Yeah, but kwejomansa@gmail.com or kwejomansa.education or abenapomponi.gh or kwamejampandutudu@gh. You just file it and then you follow the steps. Good. Alright, so now let's make changes and see how it works. As here, so I did what, I came back to this, and let's type my first Firebase website. Let's save this. So with now the change, what you have to do is you just deploy it again. So we use Firebase deploy, hit enter. Oh really, I spelled it wrong. Firebase deploy. Voila, now we know our URL, the URL of our site, which is codeflix-me.web.app. So now as you can see, it's document over here. Let me open a new tab, or let me refresh it and see. Good. So as you can see, it's what? Firebase, my first Firebase website. Just as simple as that. So that's what I have for you today. Thanks. Kindly like, subscribe, and share. Alright, thank you. Peace. Logged out.